Okay guys, so I don't know how many of you happen to have Chinese make scooters. You know, you got ice bears, Tao Taos, you know, all those different kinds of makes. Well, for those of you, this is a video that I decided that I'm going to make based on some bulbs and changing bulbs out. In this case today, um, I actually just recently changed some bulbs like my running lights and my license plate light. Now, I don't know what kind of scooter that you guys might happen to have. Now, I know that the typical GY6 motors out there, they're pretty general, and a lot of the parts are pretty swappable, or, you know, a lot of the parts that you can get at a store, they're all pretty much all the same. But for those of you who are curious as to, you know, what kind of bulb to get and to use to swap out for your scooter, then this is the video for you. I'm actually swapping out all of my bulbs possible that I have on this thing for the regular halogen to LED bulbs. So here we are. We got the Jiaju, Jiajue. It's a Z50 trim model. As you can see, it's a pretty cool design. I mean, I like kind of like the manly features that it presented along the front. Pretty cool presentable gauges up here. That's your Z50. Unfortunately, mine actually came with a trunk on the back to match. Now, in case if you are actually wondering, you know, in case if you actually happen to have this exact model, then this is definitely a video for you. So of course you've probably seen that it not only has two sets, but it also happens to have the main headlight and then the one at the bottom. Okay, now, I mean, I don't know if you're like me, but if you're like me and you want to kind of conserve the energy on your battery and make your battery last longer, and as well as wanting a little bit more clarity at night and wanting to be seen, then you're probably wanting to switch over to LED. So in this video, as you can see, I actually happen to have the bottom sets down here already switched over to LEDs. Now, if you're wondering which bulbs to look for and what to switch to, I know that they are pretty easy to find, like on Amazon. So thankfully I actually happen to have some lying around, and these I actually bought on Amazon too. Brand is Yorkim, and what's funny is I actually bought these for my 2005 Chevy Tahoe, and the lights were for like the interior, like the dome lights and above, and like the door markers on the inside, you know, just to give it a bit of a updated look. And surprisingly enough, these exact bulbs fit not only for that right there, but it also fit for, I don't know if you can see that, but it also fit for my license plate light as well. So yeah, I mean, I can't really remember what the size is of these bulbs, but in case if it helps, you know, just for a little bit of a hint, you know, just to start your searching, what you can go ahead and look up videos, or you can, if looking up bulbs like that. But um, you could also look up LED interior bulbs for your dome lights, and you can always start with the 2005 Chevy Tahoe if you'd like. I know, so far they've been working pretty good. All right, so in order for me to turn the lights on, in case if you guys want to see them, go ahead and turn it. Oops, blinkers on. And turn it on. And that's pretty much what we're looking at. As you can see, it's a bit of a combination of regular halogen and LED. So I haven't switched the others yet. But on the other hand, it's still looking pretty good. If you'd like to see what it looks like, it'll probably look better at night. But so since I'm switching over to all LEDs, you know, just because I want to give it more of a modern look. Plus, I want to preserve that battery life. Um, I also want them to be brighter. So I went ahead and went on Amazon, and I bought me this product here. So the brand is Nightlight LED light. H4. Okay, so I actually just got these in the mail yesterday through Amazon Prime. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox these. Boy, that is tight in there. Oh wow, that's pretty neat looking. Alrighty, so let's give it a second to focus. So now this here is actually is high beam and low beam bulb. It's a high beam and a low beam bulb. Now, because I wanted mine shipped on the same exact day, you can also order a 2-pack of them if you wanted to, and it's about 35 bucks to ship them out. But it's, of course, it wouldn't get there as quick as you'd like it to. So I went ahead, because I really wanted mine and I wanted to put them in because I just want to get out on the road to see what it looked like. And so I went ahead and ordered just 2 separate ones, and yeah, they came in overnight. But overall, I am super impressed with how this looks. But we're gonna see what it looks like once I put them on. Now, in case if you're a beginner and you're wondering exactly, okay, well, how exactly do I even get these bulbs on? You know, I mean, honestly, you just have to be really, really careful, because with these Chinese makes, the plastic is pretty cheap. And I can show you something, for example, that when I went and got this brand new, you know, probably had about a mile on it. And so when I had been working to try and remove my restrictor, so I can go faster, I had, of course, had to remove my air filter here in order to get easy access. And so I noticed one thing was that all of this, I don't know if you can see that movement in there, but it was basically glued on. So yes, you have to be very careful. It's you know, just make the time for it, so that way you're taking all the time you need to where you're not breaking any essential plastic pieces and clips that keep the whole thing together. So step one would be these screws. And I take them out one by one. Same on the other side. And I'll go ahead and take that out for you. Okay, and just one more thing, guys. I just wanted to say that so when you're taking out these screws, make sure you put them in a safe spot, okay? Because there are so many screws and so many just all different kinds of things where you don't want to lose these. You don't want to have a missing part at the end of your project and end up having to go back and redo it all over again. So go ahead and, you know, what I like to do is as soon as I removed a few screws, just put them in a nice safe spot. So I'm still learning exactly on how to take apart this scooter properly and not damage anything. So like those screws that I had mentioned that I'm taking off, I'm also gonna remove this here as well, and that's probably gonna be like a 10 millimeter socket that would probably fit over that. And then we got some more screws at the bottom. So essentially all I'm trying to do is remove this and this. I'm trying to give myself the most leeway as much as possible so that I'm not chancing it on possibly keeping everything too tight and possibly chancing of breaking anything on this thing at all, because as common as these mopeds are, you know, you just don't want to spend a lifetime or a hassle of money on just trying to find replacement plastic parts. So it's just best to be safe and just remove one piece at a time, take it one step at a time. Okay guys, here's another quick update. So since I'm still learning, so we're basically both gonna be learning kind of together on this, okay? So I'm still trying to be nice. This is what I mean by you just never know when they're going to require screws. So this is sitting here, and of course it has a couple of little pieces in there that go into those little slots. But another thing is there's also some screws that go in here. Now see, they make it so hard for you to access these that you just don't know where to start. Now considering that this is brand new for me, now I'm learning that, okay, let's not do that again. Let's find an easier route. I mean, as you can see the inside, but it's still, as you can see, not big enough to fit my hand in there so I can get to the bulbs. I mean, if you got small hands and you know that you can do it from there, fine, but for the most part, I'm going to be showing how to get to the inside. Okay, so we're back to it again. Alright, so here we are here. I was able to separate these two a little bit. But yesterday I noticed that my first step was a lot more helpful, because I can barely get any access in here. I can't reach inside. So what I did was I found me a little Allen wrench like this. I'm not sure about what size this is, to be honest, but I started off with this guy here. Now obviously screw that off, follow it along, and I think that's another 10 millimeter there, and then another 10 millimeter there. Okay guys, so I do apologize about this part. So I was able to get it off. Okay, as you can see, this is the port where I had the Allen wrench or use the Allen wrench to take that off. And then these were the ports with the 10 millimeters, and yes, they were 10 millimeters. So essentially, once I got this removed, which was holding, it tends to hold back a lot on the plastic cover in order to get to the interior, so therefore I had to essentially just take that off. But because I had I mean, I'm not sure if the screws at the bottom helped at all, but I know that by taking that metal guard off, I know that helped quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I was able to pull it just enough. Like, you just want to take your time with this. Like I said, just take your time and do little bit by little bit. Just pull, 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 pull. Same with the other side. Just pull, 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 pull. And of course, if it happens, just if you happen to see it get stuck, like mine before got stuck on it's gonna be the same thing. Mine got stuck on this. You know, as you can see, I wasn't playing. You know, this plastic is just cheap, and you have to be very careful with it because you know, it's the stuff that holds everything together, unfortunately. And so yeah, we definitely have to take our time. So essentially what happened was, when I took that off, and this came off, you can see the 50, and so there's going to be this cord here which plugged into this right here. So as you can see, it's split into two to where it can go to both lights. So another thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that when it comes to these bulbs, when it comes to these, you know, little housing units for the bulbs, you have to be very careful with all of this, because you can't just go in there and just try to yank it out, because if you do that, chances are you're going to be breaking things, and you're going to end up spending more money on trying to replace what you broke. And all of this is important. You know, you just have to make time for this. So here I have my LED bulb. I already replaced my other one. Here's the old one. Now these, as you can see on the left side, were HS1. Okay, HS1. These were originally HS1 halogen, 12 volt, 35 watt. Okay. Sorry, don't mind the beer. Now these are H4. You can always go to your nearest motorcycle shop and ask, you know, what would be the best replacement bulb for your scooter. But you got me here. Hopefully this helps some of you guys at least. So now, an important key factor is, before we put this in, you want to make sure, before we put this bulb in, you want to make sure that this right here, so we have the top right here, as you can see, and we want to make sure that this here is facing in, okay, this little thing right here, because that's going to help quite a bit. So if it happens to be loose and you notice it like it's swiveling around, then what you ought to do is just place it to where this is facing the inside, like that, and you make sure you tighten it with your typical Phillips screwdriver. Just tighten it, make sure that this is going to be on the inside, because in the end, after you get this bulb inside, this here is going to be holding it down. So, and it's going to hold it in. Okay, now if you don't put that on, it's just going to be dangling around all loose, and you do not want that, obviously, because, well, you just don't want that. And so yeah, we're going to go ahead and walk through the steps in a second. Okay, so another step. So we put it in there. As you can see, those 3 little prongs that are sticking out on this thing, there's a space for those on this. So you can see 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now that we've got them both in there, as you can see, it's not going to be easy to pull out. It's going to stay pretty fast in there. So we got these covers. You just kind of want to push and pull the wires as you push this down, just till it's snug. It's not like there's clips, it's just rubber. See? Just kind of fiddle around with it. Get it to fit over these things. I think it's just a temperature control thing, but I don't know. So now this, as you can see, this ties in. That's what's going to go right back to this. And it's just going to clip on in. Okay, so here we are. This is what it looks like now. Pretty bright if you ask me. I know before whenever I would turn the other lights on, you couldn't see, in this daytime, and you couldn't really see light, but you can actually see, I don't know if you can see that, but that right there is actually the LED light, and it's clear as day out here right now. So that's pretty impressive. If I can, I'm going to try to create a nighttime video for this, but for the most part, like, dude, I'm loving this. It looks super nice. Well, hope you found that helpful. Just remember, you know, keep all your tools in one spot. Keep all your parts in another. You know, I got these here. Check the pockets. You don't want to be forgetting anything, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.